Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We have started essay writing, and in today's class, we are going to talk about making an essay outline. Fine. In the previous class, we talked about brainstorming, how to brainstorm ideas for writing an essay. Fine. Essay can be, if you remember, we have already discussed in the kinds of academic writing that academic writing can be in the form of attempting a paper, or providing an answer to a question during exam. It can be writing a research proposal. It can be G. Am I audible to all? G. Is the voice audible to all?
No, sir.
Yes,
No,
sir.
Not
Yes,
audible?
sir.
sir, it's not there.
It's not clear. Fine. What's the problem, by the way? Is the voice echoing, or what's the problem?
No, it's coming.
Okay. I hope it's clear now. Fine.
It's okay.
We have started the planning stage of essay writing. Fine. In the previous class, we talked about brainstorming, how to brainstorm ideas for essay writing. Fine. In today's class, we are going to discuss how to make an essay outline. Fine. Outline, first of all, let's talk about what an outline is. So, an outline is it is a preliminary summary of written work, typically hierarchically organized in headings and subheadings. Fine. It is, the basic sketch of an essay. Like, before we start writing the essay formally, we first write a sketch for that essay. Fine. And then our essay is based on that particular sketch, and that sketch is called the outline. Fine. If you remember, the moment I enter a class and I draw a sort of sketch on the board, that sketch is actually an outline for an essay. Fine. Look at
Yes,
this
sir.
simple picture here. This is this is how an outline looks like. Here we have the thesis statement, or you may say the introductory paragraph. Fine. Which contains the topic sentence and the supporting sentences. Then we have the main body paragraph number 1, then the main body paragraph number 2, main body paragraph number 3. It can be 4, 5, 6, 7. Fine. And at the end we have the concluding paragraph. So this is how an essay outline looks like. Fine. Let's look at another example. Here is a very general sketch. First of all, we write the introduction of an essay. Fine. As I have told you earlier, briefly, that an essay consists of an introductory paragraph, then the main body, and then the concluding paragraph. So here in the introduction, what do we write? We simply jot down the basic points, the most important points in particular order. Fine. Like, we take ideas from brainstorming from that sketch, and we write all those ideas in a particular order. Fine. These are the ideas related to the introduction, the introductory paragraph. Then this is body paragraph number 1. Fine. The topic sentence, supporting detail, like, we write all the points which we'll be explaining in the essay. Fine. Then body paragraph number 2, then body paragraph number 3, and at the end, conclusion. Fine. Now let me show you some other example. Yes, the impacts of Americanization on Pakistani culture. the impacts of Americanization on Pakistani culture. This is an example of an essay topic. Fine. Now, let's look at the outline for this topic, for this essay. We have the introductory paragraph first. So here we may write the topic sentence. Fine. Or even if we do not write the topic sentence, we have that topic sentence in our mind, but we will just write here topic sentence or introduction. Fine. Now, what are the impacts of Americanization on Pakistani culture? So, the impacts on the cultural values, impacts on the religion of Pakistan, impacts on the social relations of Pakistan, fine, and impacts on material, like it is, lead to materialism in Pakistan. Clear? So all these are the 4 points which we'll be discussing in the introductory paragraph. Fine. Then we have body paragraph number 1. That is about Americanization. So what Americanization is, what is its history, when did it start? Fine. Then Americanization around the world, and finally we have Americanization in Pakistan. So this is again the this is body paragraph number 1. Then we have body paragraph number 2, like culture, its impacts on culture, Pakistani culture. So like the cultural values, if you can see here, fine. So its impacts on the ways of the living of the people, its impacts on the dressing of Pakistani people, its impacts on the Pakistani rituals, its impacts on the Pakistani religion. Fine. In the same way, we have to create here 4 fine body paragraph. Like this is introductory paragraph number 1. Now this is body paragraph number 1. Body paragraph number 2. Here we have body paragraph number 3. So that will be about religion. Fine. So here we may write religion. Okay. Then we may write down the basic points which we will be discussing in our essay regarding the impacts of Americanization on Pakistani religion or religions. Fine. So the ways of offering prayer. Fine. Multiple things can be noted down here: one, two, three, 4 or 5 points. Then we have another point which is social relation. Okay. So we will add another point here, and we will write social relations. Fine. And we will write down the basic points, the main ideas inside this topic, which we will be discussing, which we will be explaining in the this particular paragraph. The last one is then materialism, that it has led to materialism. Now how has it led to materialism? So we may write those points here. Fine. And at the end we'll provide conclusion. Fine. Or concluding paragraph. So what we'll be writing in the concluding paragraph, again we will write all those points one by one, 3, 4, 5 or 6 points. So this is how an essay outline looks like. Is this clear so far? G.
Yes,
Okay, fine. Fine.
sir.
Now what is the purpose of such sort of outlining? Why do we create an outline for an essay? There are multiple reasons, but here are the 2 most important reasons. The first one, when we create an outline, it actually gives a sort of organization to our ideas. Fine. It gives a proper order to our ideas. It gives a proper structure to our ideas, and our ideas are, our entire essay is well coherent. Fine. Well coherent means, and organized means, well structured means, look at this one. Let's suppose if we immediately, like, if first of all, if we brainstorm on this topic, fine, and then we'll start writing an essay immediately. So sometimes we'll be talking about the impacts of Americanization on Pakistani culture. The next moment, or in the very next sentence, we may be talking about the impacts of Americanization on Pakistani religion. Fine. The next, in the next sentence, we may be talking about the impacts of Americanization on the psyches of the people, or on the cultural values of the people. Like, simply there will be no order. there will be no coherence, there will be no unity, there will be no organization in our essay. Fine. On the other hand, if we create a proper outline like this, and then we start explaining all these ideas one by one in the form of a well structured essay. So our essay will be a well coherent essay, okay? It will be a well structured essay, it will be properly organized. There will be a proper sequence of ideas in our essay. Recall the lecture, fine, the lecture which I deliver in the class on daily basis. So I create a sketch and outline first of all for the lecture, and then I start discussing all those points one by one. If I do not create such sort of sketch, so there might not be, that much order or sequence in my lecture. Then same is the case with an essay as well. So the very first advantage of creating an outline is that it gives organization to our ideas, to our essay. It gives proper order, proper structure. Fine. And when we follow an outline, our essay will be a well ordered essay, it will be a well structured essay, it will be a well organized essay, and it will be a well coherent essay. Fine. So this is the first advantage. The second is it frees your mind. Fine. Simply it sets us free during writing. How? If you have observed your own selves during exam. Fine. When you are attempting a paper, usually you start wondering and you start thinking in the middle of your writing, and what are the questions that come to your mind. For example, what else do I have to say, or what else do I have to write? Fine. Then another question which usually comes to your mind is that what was my main point? People, writers, they get confused. Fine. Because they forget things due to the short-term memory, okay, the limitation of the short-term memory. So another question that comes to the minds of the students, particularly when they are attending a paper or when they are writing an academic essay, they ask themselves, why doesn't my essay make sense? Because there is no proper structure, there is no proper order, organization in the essay. Okay. So when we create an outline for our essay, it frees our mind, and we no longer thinks of these things. Okay. We no longer think of these questions. Why? Because we have already got a ready-made sketch in front of us, and we simply explain one after another. So we need not to think about this question, that what I have to write next. Fine. What is my main point? What I have to write now? And there must be, the essay must be making sense, and it must be well coherent, well organized, well structured essay. So these are the two basic reasons that making an outline is a must for an essay. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There are two types of outlining. Simply the form or the structure, the techniques of outlining. So there are two techniques. The first one is topic outline. The second one is sentence outline. Now, topic outline means that headings are given in single words or brief phrases. If you can see this, this is the example of topic outline. Because we have, single words are there or single phrases are there. If you can see here, we have a single word meaning, a single word history, fine, a single phrase around the world, a single phrase in Pakistan, fine, ways of living, a single phrase. So this is called topic outline. On the other hand, we may have sentence outline as well. How? All the headings are expressed or explained in complete sentences. Like instead of these single words in single phrases, you may write short sentences. Clear? So that is also an outline, but it takes a lot of time. That is time consuming. So that is, it's better if you could go for this one, the topic outline. Clear? And this is how both of them look like sentence outline. So if we have, for example, this is our topic, our introductory paragraph. So we write here the main point, then the sentence, fine, then the supporting sentences, then we write the main point too, fine, like the first body paragraph. So we write it here, and we write the topic sentence, then the supporting sentences. For example, if there is an example or some other illustration, etc., which could further explain this point. So we write it here then. Okay, then we move to this one back. So this is body paragraph number 2. Fine. Then we have body paragraph number 3. Now, uh, if you can see this indentation or numbering, what is it about? Do you remember that topic, unemployment? Because of their signals or their problems. Okay, fine. I'll share the video with them. Don't worry. Now look at this. For example,
Yes, sir.
we have the topic unemployment in Pakistan. Fine. So we write here unemployment. Okay. Then these are the points which explain the major points. So this is the major point, this one, and these are the sub points. Find the supporting points. So we write the meaning of unemployment and its history. Okay, then the impacts of outline. The impacts of unemployment. Here we may write the causes of unemployment. We may add another point in which we may write about the solutions of unemployment. Clear? Then when we start body paragraph number 1, so what, for example, we write about the causes here, the causes of unemployment. Okay, so here cause number 1, you know, lack of high illiteracy rate. Fine. Corruption, lack of technical education, or a lack of education. Fine. So now look at this point here, when we write lack of technical education. Now this point further explains lack of education. So the main point is lack of education right here. Okay, 2.2, for example, this is lack of education. Now if you want to further explain it with an example, or further supporting point, for example, lack of technical education, so it is written under that main heading. Simply, these are the broad headings, the major headings, the topic sentences. Okay, the main ideas of paragraphs. Then we have the subheadings, means like the supporting ideas. Clear? And then further subheadings can be there, which are usually for examples. Okay, when we want to write an example, or when we want to further explain something, so then we go for these subheadings. Clear? So this is how an outline looks like, the sketch of an outline. Is this clear so far? What is an outline? How to create it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if it is
Yes, sir. Yeah,
clear,
it's clear.
so let's practice. Okay. Or I should better open a Microsoft PowerPoint file. Is the file clear, visible to you? Microsoft PowerPoint, sorry, Microsoft Office file.
Yes, sir.
Let's start creating an outline. Fine, for our topic, that is unemployment. The topic is, the major topic is, let me fix the mic first. Okay. Our topic is, for example, unemployment in Pakistan. Should I enlarge the size? Is it visible to all now?
It is visible, yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have our introduction, introductory paragraph. Fine. So meaning of, we will write first of all the topic sentence of this paragraph. Fine. This is just a heading for the topic sentence, not the topic sentence itself. Clear? This is the introductory paragraph. So we will write here 1.1, that is the the meaning of unemployment. Then we have the history of unemployment in Pakistan. Come on, give me ideas. G, what else can we write here?
Effects.
Okay,
Solution.
this, for example, this is our introductory paragraph. Fine. Then we have the second paragraph, that is about unemployment itself. So here we may talk about the meaning, what is meant by unemployment. Fine. When did it start, or simply or you may even talk about the types of unemployment. Fine. Then a brief history. Clear? Unemployment around the world. Fine. Unemployment in Pakistan. Fine. So this is our body paragraph number 1. Then we have body paragraph number 2, for example, that is about the causes of unemployment. So what are the possible causes which we brainstormed in the previous lecture, if you remember? G.
Overpopulation was there.
Okay, good.
High birth rate.
Overpopulation.
Lack of education.
High
Birth
rate. Fine. G. Poverty. Lack
No
of
government
Lack of
access.
jobs.
lack of education, lack of job opportunities.
Yes, sir.
G. What else was there?
सर समझदारी की भी काफी
No government access,
कमी
sir.
है सर, इसलिए इस तरह होता है.
G. Low governance. What else was there? Corruption. G. Lack of. Did you forget all those points? Lack of. G. Lack of job opportunities. Okay, fine. Lack of technical education.
Technical education. Sir.
Okay.
याद आया मुझे.
What else can be there? Come on.
Remote control area
बहुत सारे लोग
population.
G.
Remote control area population.
Okay.
ये
Problems.
सांस कौन दे रहा है यार?
Okay. So these are, I think, sufficient. Fine. The causes.
Yes, sir.
Then let's move to the impacts of unemployment. Fine. So what can be the impacts or effects? G.
poverty is
Increase
the
in
first one, sir.
Anxiety. G.
yes sir, हो भी सकती है.
What else? There can be chaos in society.
Yes.
Fine. High crime rate.
Yes sir.
G.
ये मैं बोल रही थी कि मुझे
What else can be there? Come on.
Health issues, sir.
Health issues. Okay, good.
माहम की तरह लोग हमारे हुक्मरान होंगे सर।
Fine. Bad governance.
ये तो इसमें हम नहीं लिख सकते ना सर। सर ये आप मेरी बात पे बैड गवर्नेंस बोल रहे हो?
I'm talking about Pakistan as a whole. Okay. G. What
It
else
was
can
a
be
good
there?
example, sir.
What else can be there? Come on. G. Be quick. Participate.
Not a well awareness, sir.
You want to say low literacy rate or high illiteracy rate? Fine.
High literacy rate.
Okay, high illiteracy rate, not literacy. Okay, what else can be
हमारे
there?
क्लास में भी है।
G. Poor education. When people are not employed, so there will be no schools, there will be no education institutes, and people will be, not well educated. There can be multiple impacts of unemployment. Fine. Let's move to the solutions. Solutions G. What are the possible solutions?
Job opportunities.
Providing provision of job opportunities. G.
Increasing the literacy rate.
Increasing the literacy rate, a focus on education. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. G. Focus on, here we may add a sub point 5.2.1. Focus on technical education. Fine.
Okay.
Okay, G. What else can be there?
Control of birth rate, matlab measurements to control birth rate.
Okay. 5.2.
Mera Raj.
Birth rate control. G. What else can be there? Come on. Eradicating corruption. Fine.
Yes, sir.
G. Decision on merit.
ये बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट सर।
Fine. What else can be there? Come on, let's make a difference between, let's draw a line between brainstorming and outlining. This is not brainstorming. Fine, we have already brainstormed ideas for this topic, if you remember. G. What else can be there? Come on. G. Facilitating the students of the remote areas. So let's suppose these are all the solutions. Clear? Then moving to the last one, the last point, which is the concluding paragraph, or you may simply say conclusion. Clear? So what we will write in the conclusion, that will be, multiple points can be there. Unemployment, fine, in Pakistan. Impacts very briefly. Sorry, causes, impacts, fine. Then solutions, and you may say your own opinion. That can be also in solution, that how can unemployment be overcome. Fine. Now, if we look at this sketch, we have, but though we created this sketch very randomly, fine, very spontaneously, there might be lack of structure, lack of order in these points. They must be written very carefully, fine, but still if we look at this, if someone starts writing an essay on this topic, so I think the essay will be a very well structured essay, very well organized essay, fine. It will be a very well coherent essay, like all the ideas will be logically connected to one another, fine. So this is how an outline looks like, and this is how we create an outline for our essays. Now your job, your assignment is that you have already selected essay topics for yourselves, fine, and you have already brainstormed ideas for your essay topics, clear. Now you have to create a proper outline like this using a Microsoft Word file. So you have to create an outline for the topic you have selected for yourself, essay topic. I'm not talking about the research topic, that was before the midterm exam, fine. So this is the assignment, and you have to submit it till it's 2nd June. You have to submit it till 4th June, fine, or 3rd June. So work on your essay outline and then submit on time using a normal LMS. Any questions so far?
सर 2 दिनों में करेंगे ये सर?
You have got, anyhow you have got 3 days.
इतना
सर
कोई
अगर
लंबा काम नहीं है सफीर।
जी फाइन।
सर
हाँ।
बास स्टूडेंट को इंटरनेट का मसला होता है सर, अगले आने वाले मंडे तक कर देंगे सर।
If someone wants to do this, the person will do it right now immediately after the class. If someone does not want to do that, that cannot be done even in years. But that is a very small task, can be done in half an hour, fine, but do it very carefully, keep in mind, because then you will have to write your essay based on this particular outline. Clear? You cannot diverge then. You will use this outline to write your essays, your final essays, your final assignments.
Sir, how many material will be
body
mentioned
paragraph
on the
कितने
this
चाहिए
point?
इसमें?
Body paragraphs better if there are 5 paragraphs are there in the main body. Like
सर तो बाज़ औक़ात इस तरह होते हैं कि आइडिया बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं और वो सिंगल होती है वो आइडिया, तो हम पैराग्राफ में किस तरह कवर होते हैं? आइडिया बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं सर, मेरा मतलब ये है। और
then
एक पैराग्राफ में कंट्रोल करना सर।
like you may use 3 or 4 paragraphs for a single idea even, fine, but that idea must have some, you know, some sub points included in that, embedded in that idea, inside that idea. So what you have to do, you have to organize them properly, fine, and you may use even 2, 3 or 4 paragraphs for a single idea. Like it's not a must that you have to write only single paragraph, fine. You may write 2, 3 or 4 paragraphs for a single idea even, but that must be very much logical, because as I told you that like why does sometimes why does an idea takes us 3 or 4 paragraphs? Because we have so much to include. Now the stuff, the you know, the ideas, the sub ideas which you have to include, those ideas must be organized properly, fine, and they must be divided into sub paragraphs then. So this is what we usually do with such sort of ideas.
सर सपोज ये पैराग्राफ नंबर 3 है जिसमें हम काजेज लिखते हैं या इम्पैक्ट्स लिखते हैं, तो हर इम्पैक्ट्स और काजेज में आइडिया चेंज होती है, तो इसको एक पैराग्राफ में किस तरह ऑर्गेनाइज करना है?
It can be done easily. Now the sketch which I created in the topic particularly, it is, you know, for the very lengthy essays. Like we have 1 paragraph on each point, clear? If you look at this overpopulation, so here we have 1 paragraph, fine, another paragraph, paragraph number 3, paragraph number 4. This is a very detailed essay, the sketch which I just created for the essay. Okay, it's a very long essay. Your topics, they should be short. If you want to write a very, you know, lengthy essay, then you may include as many paragraphs as you want. But
Sir,
typically
4-3 paragraph में तो बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा सर।
yes, but that is why I told you that you may write essays of 7 paragraphs, 10 paragraphs. That will be sufficient for your level, because this is just, you know, the learning stage. Okay, fine. We are left with 30 seconds only in this session. So if you have any question, you may ask. No
Yes,
question?
done, sir.
Okay, fine.
No question, sir.
Okay, thank you. Stay home and stay safe. Allah Hafiz.
Allah
अस्सलाम
Hafiz.
वालेकुम।